As our coverage of Aaron Hernandez continues, we welcome in Thomas Hodgson, the sheriff of Bristol County. You have been a sheriff for 16 years. Hernandez has now been in custody with you for over a week. Can you take us through what it's been like for him in jail and how different it might be for him than other prisoners you've seen?
Well, sure. First of all, when he first came in, he was assigned to our medical unit for about 4 days. He was in a single cell with a combination toilet sink and no opportunity to have any sort of contact with any inmates whatsoever. And then, of course, now he's been reclassified. Just this past week, he's been reclassified to one of our smaller units. It's called special management, where he'll still be in a single cell, but he'll be allowed out 3 hours during the day, an hour for showers and phone calls, an hour for just milling around in the common area of that unit, and 1 hour out in the recreation yard. In this particular unit, only one inmate is allowed out at any time. He'll be afforded the opportunity to order things from our commissary if he has money in an account. He'll have his phone calls, and he'll have 1 hour of visits a week. He's allowed to have up to 5 individuals on his visit list that have to be pre-approved and screened through our security clearance, and if they're approved, they'll be able to access visits within 48 hours. So now you ask what is
different
for
about
him versus someone who doesn't have his celebrity status and so forth. First of all, we have to keep in mind this is a guy who came from a 7,100 square foot home and is now living in a 7-foot by 10-foot cell by himself with a toilet, a sink, and a small desk and a bed. He left a world where he was on Sunday afternoons running into a stadium of thousands and thousands of people who revered him in his uniform as a football player, to walking through our prison doors, albeit being given a much longer number than what he had on his jersey, but wearing a different kind of a uniform where nobody's cheering for him. So that's a big transition for someone to have gone from such a celebrity status and success to now having a whole different sort of very limited lifestyle and having all opportunities to make choices, and now having someone else making all your choices from when you get up to when you go to bed to what you're going to eat. And
how is he handling the transition?
Well, he's surprisingly well, actually. I met with him when he first came in, he didn't seem at all nervous, and he understood. I explained the policies and the rules to him and told him he'd be treated the exact same way every other inmate would be treated, nothing more, nothing less. He had a bail review, and it was denied. His bail was denied, so I met with him again to see how his disposition was. He seemed to be pretty much the same, kind of not concerned, not at all appearing nervous. He was very polite, very respectful, and I've since met with him on 2 other occasions to let him know we were going to be reclassifying him, and he seems to be adjusting well. He's got access to our book exchange, reading books, and he has the ability to write. And in this case, where he's in this smaller unit, he'll be able, when he's out in the common area, be able to see inmates that are in their cells. They can come up to their door and look out their window. They can even speak, but he cannot go up to the cell door and talk to them, but he will be able to hear them. And we want to see how inmates are reacting with him in this unit that's more restrictive, and then at the same time seeing how he responds as well.
There was a report that his tattoos were being examined to see if he had gang affiliations or connections. What was the conclusion there, and what are your concerns?
Well, we're concerned anytime anybody comes in with any tattoos, whether they're gang-related or not. Certainly with the number of tattoos he had, we obviously, and some of the rumors we'd heard, we wanted to ask him personally, face-to-face. Our gang investigators did that. I personally did that as well, to make sure that he was understanding. The only reason we wanted to know this was because we don't want to place him in a place, if in fact he was affiliated with a group, that would put him in harm's way by having a rival group in that same unit. He's indicated to us several times that he does not and has not ever had the affiliation. We have not. We aren't concerned at this point about the tattoos, but we're remaining cautious because there is always someone in any facility, any prison, where it's possible for them to want to increase their stature by doing something to somebody of celebrity status, or trying to use tattoos that somebody might have on their arm as an excuse, and try to suggest that somehow they might be, and therefore that was their motivation for trying to either harass the person or try to do something, a little more harmful.
One final question. Does he have access to the media now that so many reports are coming out? 2007, the shooting incident in Florida, was he at all attached to that? The other shooting that we've heard about, an investigation surrounding a shooting in Boston. Does Aaron Hernandez know that these stories are out there now?
Well, he has phone calls to family, so and he's entitled to phone calls to his, whoever he's calling, and I presume that he's probably, if he doesn't have a television where he is. There's no televisions in our cells, and in that unit there's no singular television in the common area of the unit. So I'm not sure he's been able to access it that way. I think probably, if anything, he maybe during his phone calls, he's maybe picked up what's going on and being kept abreast that way. But that would pretty much be the only way that I think he would easily access it. I would tell you that here and we're very limited on our television time too. You're only allowed 2 hours. Although he doesn't have one in that unit, there's no common area for television in the unit. In general population, when they have a television in the common area of a unit, we only allow 2 hours of entertainment television a day, and the only other time that it can be on is if it's news, which would afford him, if he were in general population, probably immediate access to what's going on, or it has to be self-help programs on that television set. So, but for now, he would not have direct access to any media. But certainly through phone calls he may.
All right, Thomas Hodgson, Sheriff of the Bristol County Correction Center there. Thanks for joining us.